Welcome to Gentle Yoga. I'm Kristen, offering this from Olympia, so thank you from wherever you are joining. I consider this a gentle class, a level 1 class, but please always continue to honor your body's wisdom, taking it to the level and pace that feels best to your body, and offering yourself modifications and variations so you're always most comfortable, and taking it to a deeper level if you want to go deeper as well. If you haven't been to my classes before, we're going to start off with some breathwork and meditation, and I incorporate sound healing with that, and then we'll move into our asana practice. We are going to start our practice on our backs, so you're welcome to come to your back now for breathwork and meditation, or you could just stay seated for breathwork and meditation. So comfortable position for yourself. If you do have tightness in knees or hips, maybe sit upon a pillow or a blanket of some sort so that your knees are a little bit lower than your hips. Good. Make adjustments, movements, wiggles to see if you could be even more comfortable or if your body needs any other form of support. If you're comfortable to close the eyes, close the eyes. I'm just focusing at the screen or a stationary point in the room that you're in. And let's just begin to settle into here and now, trying to let your morning go. Letting go of expectations after our time together today. And just settling into here and now. And I want to offer to take one hand to the heart. And just also using the breath as well as your heartbeat to just bring your attention into this moment. So you'll feel the expansion of your inhalation and the release of the exhalation. And then maybe underneath the palm you can feel the heartbeat. And just knowing in this very moment, right here and now, that all is well. That we're settling into the present. And that whatever emotions you're feeling, letting that be okay. And just accepting what is in this moment. And then just repeat inside your mind a few times if it feels okay to you, I love you. It's almost as if we need to remind our hearts, our bodies, our inner child, our nervous system that we are okay. There's a lot going on in the world and I don't see that changing, even with different shifts. So just come back to the heartbeat when you can, come back to the breath. We just need to teach ourselves and to relearn to just settle for a few moments. And I'm listening to myself as I say this to you all. Good, one more breath all the way into the heart. And then you can keep your hand there if that feels good, or just relaxing wherever it should be for you. We're going to move into a breathing exercise. We're going to work with a balancing breath by inhaling for 4 counts and exhaling for 4 counts. If you have a clear nasal passage today, work with your breath in and out the nose. And if going to 4 counts feels like too much of an effort, start with inhale for 3 and exhale for 3. But if you can make it up to 4, awesome. And if you want to increase up to 5, just let that lengthening be a natural process. And I offer to count the breath in the mind. So 1, 2, 3, 4 as you take a breath in. And 1, 2, 3, 4 as you take a breath out. All right, if you stayed seated for meditation, settle back onto your sits bones and find that nice tall spine. Let the shoulders soften down the back body. If on your back, make any other adjustments so you're most comfortable. I'll do a couple rounds with you, and then you can continue to work with this breath on your own. We'll begin together. Inhaling 4. And exhale 4. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. Again, inhale and exhale. Continue in this way, counting the breath in the mind. Inhale and exhale for 4 counts for balancing breath. We'll incorporate this breath for 2 minutes. Stay with the breath. Inhale 4, exhale 4. Three more rounds of the balancing breath. With your next exhalation, we'll release the breath work, returning back to the natural rhythm of your own breathing. From here, moving into a simple meditation. If you want, if you're seated, if you want to just extend the legs out and shake out your knees a moment, you can bring your opposite leg in front and just stay exactly as you are. Settle back onto the sits bones, re-lengthening in the spine. For our meditation, on our inhale, we'll mentally affirm here and now. And on our exhalation, mentally affirm present moment. Other thoughts will pop into the mind, usually of the past or the future. Just greet that thought, let it pass, and come back to your inhalation with the meditation. Here and now, present moment, for 2 minutes. rounds of breath with the meditation. With your next exhalation, we'll release the meditation, once again returning back to the breath. Just take a moment to sense any changes in the body or the mind. And that was just about 5 minutes, so just knowing that 5 minutes can do a lot for your nervous system. It can ground you back into your body and bring you back to the moment. So remembering you've got your breath as a tool for self-care. Let's take the hands to the heart center and Anjali Mudra. Bow slightly to the hands and just take a moment to honor yourself for being here this afternoon. Honoring that you're taking time out for you, for self-care, for health and wellness. And let this awareness ripple out into the universe, bringing more calm and peace and groundedness to all beings. Now slowly release. If you were on your back for the meditation, extend your legs out long and reach your arms overhead into a full body stretch, and we'll meet you there soon. If you stayed seated for the meditation, let's extend our legs out and we'll shake out our knees a little bit. And then make your way onto your back if you stayed seated for the meditation. And we'll join our friends one more time. We'll do another full body stretch here on our back. So extend the arms overhead, reach the legs out long, point the toes, spread the fingers, yawn, release, stretch, lengthening in the spine. You can even tilt the hips side to side a little bit, just opening up in the low back. And then we'll extend our arms out to a T. Take your palms down towards the floor. Keep the shoulder blades connected to the floor. Release your feet wider than your hips, so your knees are bent. If you're on a yoga mat, take your feet to the side edges of the mat. We're just going to keep the head forward for now, but begin to gently sway the legs side to side like windshield wipers on a car. You could inhale the legs to one side and exhale to the other, or you could inhale the legs to center and exhale as they shift to the side. So again, here, find the pace and rhythm that feels best to your body, honoring your body's wisdom throughout our practice today. And now let's invite this little twist further up the spine by looking in the opposite direction of our knees. So as your knees land over to your left side, gaze to the right hand. And then exhale, legs to the right side as you gaze to the left hand. So side to side with the breath. Finding your flow and rhythm here, a gentle twist. Good, one more to each side and then we're going to hold. Next time your legs land over to your right side, let's release them to the floor for a double knee down twist. Look in the opposite direction of your knees. And now if this is too much intensity for any reason for the legs, you could prop something between your knees or underneath your lower knee. Try to just relax and release towards gravity as you bring your mind back towards your breath. Two more nice deep breaths. Good, inhale the head and knees back to center. Exhale over to the other side. Legs to the left as you gaze to the right side. Nice deep breaths here. Two more nice deep breaths. Good. Inhale the head and knees back to center. We're going to keep our knees bent, but bring the feet to hips distance apart. So line your ankles below your knees. Arms can just be alongside your body. We're going to do pelvic tilts. So we're not going to lift our bodies off the mat like we do in bridge pose. We're simply just going to tilt forward and back on the sacrum, which is at the back of your pelvis. And so we have these multifidi muscles that go all the way down to the sacrum. So this is a simple way to massage those muscles. It's also a great way to strengthen our transversus abdominal muscles. So those are the lower belly muscles over the pubic bone underneath your belly button and below the rectus abdominis. Okay, so let's start by just pressing your low back into the floor. That's going to cause the pelvis to tilt towards the head or the top of your mat. You'll sense the core muscles engage here, so check in with the core. And then inhale, tilt the pelvis away from your body, creating a little space and arch between your back and the floor. And you can even stick your hand underneath there. You can feel that spaciousness. Exhale, press into the mat, core muscles engaging. And then inhale in the opposite direction. Okay, so just tilting forward and back. You'll notice the tiny micro movements of the skull and chin, as we are greatly, everything is connected. I often do this throughout the day. If you are on the computer zooming or just looking down, it just can affect your neck, which is going to affect your sacrum as well. And so getting some pelvic tilts in there to release the low back and sacrum. Let's do 2 more here in each direction. I have a little allergy today, so excuse me, my nose is itchy. All right, releasing the pelvis back to neutral, moving into Apanasana. Take a deep breath in. With your exhalation, bring your right knee towards your right shoulder. Now you can interlace on top of the knee or underneath the knee with your hands. You can take a strap or a belt or a towel or a scarf. I like to align the knee with the shoulder to help out the hip flexor a little bit. Some folks will come inside of that shoulder, so just see what feels good here. You're going to obviously feel an opening in that right hip. And now come to your left side. You could keep that left knee bent. You could allow that knee to fall out to the side, kind of rolling on the outer edge of the left foot. You'll get an adductor, inner thigh stretch. Or you could extend that left leg all the way to the floor. I would say to flex the foot if you're going to work with that leg extension and really anchor that left side of the body to the floor. So root that glute, the back of the heel. Still that left shoulder blade is sinking into the earth. You might like a little tuck of the chin towards the chest to lengthen out your neck a little bit, the cervical spine. And then begin to send some breath into your right hip. It's amazing what our attention and intention can do for our body. Releasing tension, releasing pain or discomfort. 3 more beautiful breaths into that hip. Good. With your next exhalation, we'll create simple circles with that knee, starting in a clockwise position. You could have 0 to 2 hands on the knee. You don't need to hold anything on that knee. You could just rotate that leg around. Again, here, find the pace and rhythm that feels good. And how big or small of circles do you want to make? We're seeking a deeper opening in our hip flexor. Good. And then the next time the knee comes back towards the chest or the shoulder, let's reverse directions, opposite way. Good. Bringing that knee back to Apanasana, so find that wherever you want to interlace, and then let's get some ankle circles going. We'll start again in a clockwise position. And reverse directions. All right, release the ankle circles. We're going to transition to a hamstring flow, so awakening the back of the leg. With your next inhale, we'll extend that leg towards the ceiling. You could interlace behind the thigh. Don't overextend the knee. Still keep a nice flexion in the knee. And then with your exhale, take the knee back to the chest. Inhale as you extend the leg, and exhale as you release the knee back towards the body. So find again the rhythm. See which hand placement. I kind of shift it from the top of the knee to the behind the leg. But some students will just keep it behind the knee the whole time. See what works for you. Good afternoon to our beautiful hamstrings, and definitely getting some hamstring stretches in too if you are sitting more, just to support again that low back stabilization. All right, one more flow. Take the knee back to Apanasana. So if that left leg was out to the side, or if that left knee was bent, let's extend the leg out. If your left leg is not extended, extend your left leg out and flex the foot. We're going to take the first 2 fingers and the thumb of our right hand and wrap it around our right big toe. Okay, so 3 fingers around your right big toe. Left hand comes on the left thigh. So we're going to lift up. We're going to extend our right leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to lift our shoulders and our head off the floor. And we're going to try to reach our left hand towards our left toes. Sounds a little bit strange, but hopefully you can see me so that it makes more sense. Okay, inhale coming up. So extend that right leg towards the ceiling. Your right elbow will go out towards the side, and then reaching those left fingers towards the left toes. If this is too much, you can just stay in Apanasana for a few more breaths. Building strength here for 2 more breaths. And then release the toe, point the right toes, exhale as you lower that leg and your head towards the ground. 2 integrating breaths here. Big breath in. Another nice deep breath. Good. Take your feet back to the floor. Ankles are below the knees. And we'll take Apanasana to the other side. Take a nice deep breath in. With your exhale, take the left knee towards the left shoulder. So we're just going to repeat all of that on our other side, and our bodies are balanced in different ways. So maybe you're going to interlace along the hamstring here this time. Maybe you'll keep the right knee bent this time for this side. So if you have any discomfort, always back out of the pose or the movement. I don't consider pain yoga. It's definitely an indicator and an awesome teacher in our life, quote unquote, unfortunately. All right, so get your alignment pieces, aligning left knee with left shoulder. See if you want that little tuck of the chin to the chest for lengthening out the cervical spine. And then see if you want to keep your right knee bent. That right knee can go out to the side, or you can extend that leg to the floor. And then once you get settled, again, returning back to the breath and sending some breath down into your left hip. Okay, one more beautiful breath. And then with that exhalation, begin to make simple circles with your left knee. So again, you might want to extend that right leg just with this movement, so you're anchoring that right side of your body. See what feels good here. So 0 to 2 hands on this knee as we rotate our leg around for opening up that left hip flexor. Good. Next time that leg comes back toward your body, reverse directions, opposite way. Returning that knee back to Apanasana, interlacing where is comfortable, and then we'll start our ankle circles on our left foot. And reverse directions, opposite way. I still have my right foot flexed, so I'm engaging that, keeping that side engaged. Okay, let's release our ankle circles here. We'll begin our hamstring flow on the left side. So inhale as you extend that leg up towards the ceiling, and exhale, take the knee back towards the chest or the shoulder. Inhale, leg extension, and exhale, release. So continue in this way. Hello, hamstrings on the left side. Let's do 2 more flows with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. Move with your own breath. And then take that left knee back to Apanasana. So now if your right leg isn't extended to the floor, let's extend that leg to the floor and flex that foot. We're going to take the first 2 fingers and the thumb and wrap it around our left big toe. Right palm facing down on the right thigh. And then with your next inhale, if you want, if this is too much, just stay in Apanasana. With your next inhale, extend your left leg up. Reach your right fingers towards your right toes. And kind of bringing that leg towards your body as best as you can. Building strength, lengthening in hamstrings. If you want to take it one step further, lift your right leg off the floor. 2 more strengthening breaths. Good. Release the toes. Point the left toes. Exhale as you lower that leg and your head to the floor. Turn the palms to the ceiling alongside your hips. 3 integrating breaths here. Fully relax. Big breath in. Another nice deep breath. 1 more breath. Good. Take your feet back to the floor. Let's extend the arms again out to a T. Just sway the legs a couple more times to each side, releasing our sacrum and low back. We'll do some abdominal and leg strengthening, and then we'll transition. All right, take the knees back to center. So we're going to do a bridge flow. And so this is going to really support core strengthening, glutes and thigh strengthening. And so as we move into our bridge flow, we want to keep the legs, the core, and the glutes engaged the whole time we're lifting our bodies up, as well as returning back to the floor. So keeping everything engaged, and that's just going to really enhance that strengthening. So what we're going to do with the arms today is we're going to bend them at the elbows, and we're going to make fists with the hands. And we're going to press our elbows down into the earth as we do the bridge flow with the rest of our body. Okay, press your feet and toes into the earth. And once we begin the flow, try not to turn your head to either side, just protecting in the neck a little bit. So pressing elbows down, pressing feet and toes into the earth, and then you're going to take it as high as you want. Inhale up into your bridge, engaging glutes, core, legs, keeping that engagement as you exhale back to the floor, still pressing down with the elbows. So I'm just going to keep going here. If you can make it all the way up to your shoulders, great. If it's too much, just do a half bridge or a low bridge and just lifting just a little bit off the floor. You can still keep that musculature engaged no matter how high you're lifting in the air. Okay, again, inhale as you lift and exhale as you return to the floor. Let's do 3 more. Rest if you need to, always honoring your body. Good. Next time you come to the floor, relax the arms, take a resting breath here, big breath in. And now we're going to hold. So once again, bend the arms at the elbows, make fists with the hands in the air, press down into the earth with the elbows, press down into the earth with feet and toes, and then with your next inhalation, lift up into bridge, and we're going to hold. Keeping everything engaged, pressing down into the earth with elbows and hands, building strength. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Exhale, release back to the floor. Knees come to the chest, hug the arms around the shins. You can rock side to side, you could stay stationary with the breath. If you need any other movement, see what feels good to your body. If you're rocking side to side, come back to center. We're going to take one hand to each knee, make circles with the knees, moving them in the same direction. More massage those multifidi muscles down on the sacrum. Good, and then the next time the knees come back towards your body, reverse directions. One more time. Roll the legs to one side, use the strength of hands, elbows, and arms to lift yourselves up to a comfortable seated position. Take your time with the transition. So if you need anything underneath your bum for support, grab some cushioning for yourself. Sukhasana Easy Sit Pose is an option here for seated. If that's uncomfortable for any reason, you could extend one or both legs out. Some folks will just come into cobbler or butterfly with the legs, so see what feels good to your body. Let's take palms facing down in the knees. We're going to make simple circles with the torso. Circle up towards your feet and rounding back towards your hips. Fast or as slow as you'd like. Bigger or small of circles as feels good. Good. Next time you come up towards the front, reverse directions. Opposite way. Come back to center. Half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Settle back to the sits bone so your core muscles are engaged. Take your hands alongside your hips and then inhale the arms overhead into temple. So extending in your index fingers. Try to keep your head between your elbows, and then with your next exhalation, hinge over to your right side. If you need to bend the elbows, that's great, but just try to keep yourselves between the elbows. Inhale, come back to center. Re-lengthen in the spine, reaching through the index fingers, and then exhale over to the left side. So continue in this way. As you come to center, find that re-lengthening in the spine, and then exhale as you shift to the side. So we're keeping sits bones connected for the entire movement, not lifting the buttocks off the floor, just getting that nice lengthening in the side waist and the side body. Good, and then the next time you come over to your right side, let's take the right hand to the floor. We'll transition to a little side bend flow. Inhale, come back to center, and then exhale to the other side. So let's continue in this way several more times. Inhale to center, exhale as you shift to the side. Good. Next time you come over to your right side, let's hang there together for several breaths. So top palm can face the floor. Try to invite that top shoulder to soften down the back away from your ear. Rooting sits bones. And sensing your breath. Inhale back to center, exhale over to the other side. Deep, sweet breaths here. Inhale back to center. Exhale, walk your hands out for a simple seated forward fold. We're going to let the body take shape of the pose. Let your shoulders round, let your head hang. You can shake and nod the head yes and no if you'd like, releasing the neck a little bit more. And again, keeping sits bones connected to the floor so we're not lifting our buttocks off the mat or the floor. And then relax in your hips as you breathe. Excuse me. Never had allergies in November. All right, 4 more breaths. You can also stack a couple fists on top of each other to rest your forehead upon. Good, walk the hands back towards your body. Take the hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards your body. We're going to settle back into the heels of the hands, and we're going to kind of lean back as if we're going to go back to our elbows. We're not going to go back that far. And then imagine you've got a string being tugged from the heart, lifting through the heart, and gaze up to the ceiling if that's okay. If that's uncomfortable for any reason, you can take the chin back towards the chest, but we're just giving a little counter stretch to the spine. And then press with the heels of the hands. Let's extend our legs out to shake out our knees a little bit. And then come back to a seated position. We're going to do a cat-cow flow with an arm variation. I'm going to actually stay this direction. So arms will be in front, palms will face down to the floor. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, we'll tuck the chin towards the chest as we press back to cat back. Press the spine behind you. And then inhale, open the arms, heart comes forward, pelvis comes forward, look up to the ceiling in cow spine. Exhale back to cat back, and inhale into cow spine. So continue in this way a few more times with the body and the breath. Awakening the spine and beginning to open in the heart center. Opening up to gratitude, self-love, and self-kindness. Good, 2 more. Last one. And then we'll come back up and we'll just float the arms down and move into shoulder circles. Letting any tension or stress release from the shoulders and the neck, letting it go with the breath. Good, reverse directions, opposite way. Release. Let's settle back to the sits bones so core muscles are engaged. We're going to inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Exhaling with a ha as we let them go. Inhaling up. Inhale. One more time. Good, then take the shoulders back to your ears. Roll them behind you, soften down your back body. Keep shoulders behind you. We'll return our palms facing down to the knees. We'll exhale the left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale gently back to center. Exhale over to the other side. Let's hang here for several breaths. So relax your face and the jaw. You can even reach the muscles on the side of the neck up towards the ceiling for a little isometric stretch. And then if you'd like to increase that stretch at all, you could extend your left arm out to the side, fingertips near the floor. Still resting on the sits bones with a nice tall spine. 2 more breaths. Good, hand comes back to the knee. Inhale the head gently back to center. Exhale over to the other side. Deep, sweet breaths here. Again, send some breath into the shoulders and the neck, helping to soften our tension with our own breath. And if you'd like to increase in that stretch, extending right arm out to the side. 3 more breaths. Hand comes back to the knee. Inhale the head gently back to center. Exhale, take the chin towards the chest. And then we'll inhale and roll the right ear towards the right shoulder. Exhale, sweep the chin towards the chest over to the other side. Good, a few more times in this way. Slow, mindful movements of the neck, accompanied with a slow, mindful breath. One more in each direction. Good. Take the head back to neutral. Close your eyes if that's okay, or just focusing on a stationary point. We're going to take 3 integrating breaths here and try to bring some breath all the way up into the shoulders and the neck. Big inhale. Another nice deep breath. One more full breath. Good. Extend your legs out. Shake out your knees again a little bit. And we're going to transition to hands and knees. So we're going to line our wrist under our shoulders and knees under our hips. So you're going to have space between the hands as well as your knees. If you need any support underneath your knees, grab it some extra cushioning. And if you have sensitivity in your wrists, you could take the hands to fists or roll up something to support underneath the heels of the hands. So see if you need any of that support. I have hyperflexible elbows, so my elbows might look a little different, but just keep a little flexion and softness in them. We're not going to lock in those joint structures. Moving into cat-cow flow, take a deep breath in. With your exhalation, arch up into cat back. Press your belly button towards your spine and lift the back of the heart to the sky. And then inhale into cow, tilting the tail, gazing up to the ceiling. I'm still pressing through the earth with the palms. And relax in the belly. Exhale, arching up into cat back. And inhale into cow. So continue in this way. Again, we're engaging our core muscles as we arch into cat back. Good, 3 more here. Last one. Good, and now let's, next time you come to cow pose, hang there for a couple breaths. We're going to transition to a cat-cow child's pose flow. And now with your next exhalation, arch up into cat back. Take another deep breath in. With your exhale, take the buttocks towards the heels, coming into Balasana, child's pose. Arms could be extended in front of you. They could be alongside your body. You could stack a couple fists on top of each other to rest the forehead upon. Yielding all of your weight into the earth as you sink into the breath. 3 more breaths, and then we'll move into our flow. So if your arms are not in front, let's bring them in front of us so we can move into our flow. From child's pose, with your next exhale, we're going to press ourselves up into cat back. Inhale into cow. And exhale back to child's pose. Inhale here in child's pose. Exhale, arch to cat back. Inhale into cow. And exhale back to child's pose. So continue in this way. Find the rhythm of the breath. Incorporate a movement with each breath cycle. Good, let's flow one more time. And once again, next time you come back to child's pose, let's hang there again for 4 more breaths. One more full deep breath. And walk the hands back towards the body. We're going to do a wrist stretch, so if you're okay to sit back on your heels. If that's uncomfortable for any reason, you could stay up on your knees. And if you want a foot stretch, tuck those toes under so we get a little fascia stretch into the feet. So if that works, great. If not, fine, what does. Take the fingertips together, making bird's beaks with the hands. Rotate your wrist around in circles. Good, reverse directions. come up to the knees. We're going to work with some lunges. So take a step forward with your right foot. And so the main thing to think about for a lunge is just aligning your ankle below your knee. So if you have more tightness in your knees or your hips or anywhere in your body, your foot will be closer to you. Your foot will be closer to your body, but you can still have that alignment. If you want to go deeper into your hips, then scoot your foot further away from your body so you can go deeper into the hips, but still making that alignment with the ankle and the knee. So that's just something to point out there. Sometimes the shoulders will start to creep to the ears. See if you can soften them down the back. You could take a block on either side of your foot if you want. You could rest the elbow on that right knee. See what feels good here. Once you settle, then find the breath. We're going to come into a counter stretch, so take the hands to the hips. We're going to straighten that leg as we press up, flexing your right foot. Still keep a little micro bend in the knee rather than fully locking in the knee. Okay, and then we're going to flow with these two movements. We're going to inhale back to the lunge. The hand can just come to that front knee. And then exhale back to the hamstring stretch. Hands can come to the hips. Or you could just keep your hands on the hips the whole time. You do whatever you want with the arms. Opening in our hips here, flowing with your breath. Good, one more flow. Okay, come back to the lunge. And then we're going to do a twist prayer. So take the left elbow to the outer part of your right knee. Take the hands in prayer. Press the palms together and then look to the right. So you're looking towards that right hip. Yep, there we go. Awesome, 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, take the hand to the heart. Inhale back to center. Exhale, arms come up to a V for exalted lunge. Good, we'll release, take the hand to that front knee. Yield and push yourselves up to switch sides. Take your time. Again, our bodies are balanced in different ways, so maybe you back out a little bit more here, or maybe you go deeper on this side. So find that placement for your lunge for your hips, and then align that left ankle below the left knee. Invite those shoulders to soften down the back. Nice deep breaths here. Hello, hips. We love you, hips. Two more breaths. All right, transition to our counter stretch with your next exhalation. Straightening that left leg. Hands can come to your hips if you'd like. And then begin to flow with your breath. So inhale back to the lunge. And exhale back to the hamstring stretch. A few more times. Last one here. All right, come back to the lunge. And now prayer twist, we'll take the right elbow to the outer part of the left knee. Hands come together, looking to the left. Pressing the palms together, creating energy and heat. One more breath. Good, inhale the hands back to center at the heart, and then exhale to exalted lunge. Good, we'll gently release. Take the hands to that front knee, yield and push yourselves up. We are going to come back to table, and we're going to do sunbird for our balancing pose today. We're going to keep it on hands and knees. We're not going to go up to standing today. So if you'd rather do some other balancing stuff, then you can, but I'm going to offer sunbird with some variations. So we're going to start by extending our right leg back behind us. And try to keep that leg in alignment with your hip rather than lifting it higher towards the ceiling. So take a moment to square your hips to the floor. And just see, I was a gymnast as a kid, so I've got this hyper arch in my low back. So just see if you can flatten the low back. Lift your belly button towards your spine and try to flatten the back rather than having any arch in the spine here. I've got my foot flexed. And just send that line of energy out of the heel. So here's variation 1. If the lift is too much, then just put the toes to the floor and just work with that leg extension and no lift. That's your pose. Okay? Variation 2, extending the left arm in front. Thumb will face towards the ceiling and palm towards the center midline. I look to the floor to keep my neck in alignment with the spine. Keep engaging the core towards the spine. Right? Variation 3, if you'd like, grasping your right ankle with your left hand. Okay, so breathing 2 more breaths, whichever variation you're in. Lots of options here. You could have the toes on the floor with the arm extended too. Good. And release back to table. Let's do a wrist stretch here. So come back to the heels again if that's okay. If that's too much, you can be up on your knees or offset onto a hip. Interlace your fingers, making figure 8s with hands and wrists. Good, reverse directions, opposite way. Okay, so we're going to take that over to the other side. Let's come back to table. Realign wrist under shoulders, knees under hips. And here in table, already you compress your belly button towards your spine. And then extend your left leg back behind you. Point or flex the feet, it doesn't really matter. Try to square the pelvis to the floor. Keep the core muscles engaged. So find the variation on this side. If you're ready, you could extend your right arm in front. Breathing is the most important part. We're building strength and balance. And then last variation, grasping your left ankle with your right hand. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Good. Exhale, release. And then the last variation, we're going to extend both arms and both legs. Just kidding, it's a joke, and if you were all present, we would be laughing together. So laugh, ha ha ha. Can't do that, ha ha. Okay, come back, one more wrist stretch. Just take the backs of your hands together, pressing your wrists towards each other. Getting one more little stretch there. And just shake out the wrists. All right, transitioning back onto your backs. Gotta blow the nose one more time. All right, coming back onto the floor. Just take a quick look here. See how everyone's doing. Yay, good, 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 good. Oh, yay, awesome, thank you. All right. All right, friends. So making your way back onto the floor. Let's once again take the feet wider than our hips out to the side edges of a mat. If you're on a mat, arms will come out to a T. And let's sway the legs again side to side. We'll keep the head forward and the shoulder blades sinking into the earth. And now a little twist flow by looking in the opposite direction of your knees. And then the next time the legs land over to your right side, release them to the floor for a double knee down twist. If you want to take it one step further, take the right foot to the top of your left knee, and the weight of that leg is just going to lengthen out the muscles in the quadricep there on the left side. So if you want a little deeper opening in that left side, take that lower right foot to the top of your left knee, making a little fan with the legs, looking in the opposite direction of your knees. Shoulder blades still rooted into the earth. Good, 3 more breaths. And then release the feet. We'll go side to side 3 more times with our twist flow. Wonderful. Next time your legs land over to your left side, release them to the earth. Double knee down twist to the other side. And if you want to increase that stretch at all on your right side, take that lower left foot to the top of your right knee. Breathing, whichever variation you're in, 3 more breaths. And once again, release side to side 3 more times. Happy spines, happy sacrums. All right, come back to center. We're going to end with Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. So take the soles of your feet together and your knees will fall out to the sides. If you had blocks, you could prop them underneath your knees. If you don't have any form of support and it's intense, scoot your feet away from your body. So your legs would be more in cobbler than butterfly. Butterfly, the feet are a little closer, and cobbler, they're further away. So just find that placement that feels good for the feet and the knees. And then arm variation, they could be at a low V, palms to the ceiling. They could be out to a T, palms to the ceiling. They could be in cactus arms, bending them at the elbows, but make sure your forearms are comfortable and resting also on the floor. Or one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. See what feels good to you, returning your attention to the breath, and just reconnecting with that expansion of your inhalation and the release of your exhalation as the belly and chest rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Just for the next few breaths and the next few moments, begin to repeat inside your mind, I am at peace within myself. I am at peace within myself. Three more breaths here. So from here we're going to transition to Shavasana. So if you're comfortable as you are here, then just stay as you are. Otherwise we'll release by taking the hands to the outer parts of the knees, and we'll help the legs come back towards each other. You can extend the legs out long, reach your arms overhead, full body stretch before we move to Shavasana if you'd like. And then just find that position that is most comfortable. Your legs could just be fully extended to the floor. Maybe your knees are just bent a little bit. You could be in constructive rest where the feet are wider than your hips and the knees come to the center to touch and support each other. Or recline butterfly if that was comfortable for you. So I'm going to transition to the bowls. I would suggest to add any socks or clothes if you could be more comfortable. So take some time making any other adjustments, movements. See if you can become even more comfortable than you are. Shavasana is an opportunity to allow us to integrate our practice into the body, mind, and spirit. With each breath, allowing that integration as you invite your whole self to come into a peaceful state of relaxation. attention to your breath, deepening and lengthening in your breath. As you deepen the breath, begin to invite gentle movements to your body, wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles. If you'd like, extending legs out long, reaching arms overhead into a full body stretch. Maybe rolling onto your right side for a few more breaths, using your lower arm to support your head. And then use the strength of hands, elbows, and arms to lift yourselves up to a comfortable seated position. We'll close our practice with one Om, placing palms wherever is comfortable. Let's take a deep breath in to begin, please. Inhaling. Bringing the hands to the heart center in Anjali Mudra. Bow slightly to the hands, bowing to yourself, and to our online yoga community. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll end by praying for peace with one Om, 3 Shantis, and 3 pieces. Om, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May we carry it into our worlds. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me this afternoon. If you are able to make a donation, I do have links on my website, KristenRubis.com, but I am on PayPal, so krubylove@yahoo.com is the PayPal account, and my Venmo is info@KristenRubis.com. Those are also my email addresses, so if you have any questions or comments or wonderments or complaints or suggestions, I'm always open to receiving feedback so I can make this a better experience for you all.